The enlightenment Jesus. Royalties of peace. We are still in the storms back to peace that has no storm while holding on to perfect peace. This is episode 53 of the Golden Age podcast by Maris Free Lefranc. Today is Thursday, June 5th of 2025. And we understand at this time of the year, we have so many commencements, more of like a new beginning, though half way of the year gone. We have graduations, marriages, some even starting the first day of their life. Be of human development, stage one, or of your first career commencing, or your first time in your marriage. Whatever you're commencing this mid of the year, like the first of the year, should be carried with a purpose. And there's only one purpose of all indulgement. There's only one purpose of all cultures. There is only one purpose of all diverse existence of our being. Even to the dust might we walk on. We yearn for a battlefield free. Mind. A battlefield free mind. Ice sublimes, water evaporates. Yearning for that destination of collision, freedom, that gaseous state of perfection, invisible from the sight of complications. Ladies and gentlemen, we all understand so far of this channel we are all about a journey to perfect peace, one step at a time to enter into perfection of none left behind. We have tried to go about the differences we have in this world. From school knowledge to our environment, experiences, and different points of views, be of culture, religion, and whatever empowers your journey. We must encourage perfect peace, aware peace does not come from friction. It is not through pain that we gain our reward. We need not hard work to earn a living, but rather smartness. We need to be smart. Some say common sense is not common. And the only reason is because of so many points of view overshadowing common sense, which is very basic of all diverse existence. The subset of our very existence that intersection of all diverse existence is what is called common sense. The inner sanctum, where our ancestors lie in our midst. One of my brothers wrote a quote that said, "Without a dream, we reach nothing. Without love, we feel nothing. Without God, we are nothing." In all of these, dream, love, God is one. Diverse interpretation of the intersection, the inner sanctum, the mist in which our forefathers lie of enlightenment, perfecting, must reach perfection by we all completing this journey of the enlightenment perfect, of none left behind can only be the possibility, but gracefully and healthily, not by bombarding each other, but through education until all have come to their senses of our true purpose is completing the journey of life from infancy to integrity. Wisdom age is in all ages, even in infancy. The perfect peace, the within in every of us, the common sense, like the candy in the wrapper, which the candy wrapper must reflect. Some candy wrappers do not reflect the candy they have in them. Does not mean that they are not the candy. Looking like the worst beings out here must not forget their true identity from their diagnosis presenting. A famous gentleman said, in a commencement speech, that life is hard either way. So choose your difficult. This is with point of view, experience of our journey to perfect peace, indicating the unknown to the unknown. After being conceived into a human being, we are presented with an unknown we must walk upon to return to an unknown that we had known, looking like unknown. And until you get there, can you recognize it? Because it is within us and we carry the DNA, the candy, perfect peace. Point A back to point A is the true completion of the journey. It is not a point A to point B journey, but a point A back to point A. Such that when you reach point B, you must be finding your way back to point A. Whether you chose to come out of the house into the journey or not, must we remember, push down into the dust does not mean you stay there or wait for the one who pushed you down to pick you up. Of your right mind, you will know cleanliness is next to godliness, when godliness is perfect peace, the inner sanctum, the within of us, the candy. Even when they call you the wrapper of the candy, you know fully well you must address yourself of expected while healing the other, confused of which is the candy and which is the wrapper. For sure, the wrapper like confusion is only an alarm of not being at the right place. It's only like an alarm reminding us to return home. When labor is only an alarm that we are not resting, we must reach the place of rest, which is home. When the labor is completed, when the wrapper is completed, when the wrapper is done with, the wrapper, ice sublimes, water evaporates. Life is hard either way. Once in the human form, fulfilling the journey of infancy back to integrity. We give it the title of the within because we carry the identity. And until we get there to prove it, wherever you get to, if not where was assigned, you must be able to keep on completing until you reach the solution of the problem. Some having a long division and others a short division to solve. But we must have the same results. The solution must be perfect peace at the end. Holding onto the true destination makes the journey easier. Knowing your destination could be difficult when you are in the journey. And the journey difficult, being new, you have to learn of how to maneuver it and return to your destination. Sometimes knowing your destination can even be more frustrating when the journey is confusing. Not knowing what direction to take of so many pathways, so many points of view, but you know it is perfect peace, the destination, but you don't know how to get to it because of so many points of view. You may even have the right and scared to use it because no one uses it. Man is so caught up with the addiction of a long journey. Anger can cause a lot of disruption to enter perfect peace, like an obstacle. It must be resolved, which is why we have education to recover from the diagnosis of anger. Your unknown can become anger of too long pondering upon what is right, can get you to frustration, from denial of not being lost to bargaining of looks like I am lost. Depression sets in of a long time getting to understand you being lost. And the depression can become anger, the alarm that must start seeking the journey back to the destination before it is too late, meaning too dark to travel. Too late only meaning more complicated. Some say it's never late, but when they say it's late, it's because the journey only gets harder the longer you take to start returning, which is the requirement of the world today, considering the complications that we are experiencing all over the world. Slamming at each other, rich against the rich, those of low income against those of low income, and even the rich against those of low income, and those of low income against the rich. No one is spared, even self does not spare self. The battlefield of the mind, of where I am, is frustrating. How do I return home? How do I reverse from this complicated state to a perfect place of tranquility where everyone is saved and I have no sight of complication, even if I am in the place of perfect peace? My perfect peace is not perfect. Our ancestors, our forefathers are alarming to us. Perfect my peace so I can rest, and that would take all returning home. How can a father and mother sleep at night when the child has not returned home? They will call the police station to report a missing child, and the child must be searched for until the child is found. Choosing your difficult, more of like walking at a gym for fitness is hard work when smartness requires a healthy habit and not work out to maintain fitness. Trying to lose weight could have been prevented, for prevention is better than cure. While some are trying to lose weight, others are trying to add on some weight. Imbalance we experience, and such can bring depression on either of the individual, not even sparing the one of right presentation of the expected, worried about both individuals struggling with balancing. It brings depression on all. Even the one sound also suffers. I'm trying to bring us to the place of the rich. Even the rich suffer. They are drained of the mind, so that even before they speak to you, they are aggressive. And we say rich people are very aggressive. Could make us understand this with the application of balancing health. Health and wealth are very closely related. We do not want hard work. Therefore, our difficult should not be exaggerated. Do not inflate negativity. You can inflate positivity, but not negativity. Because negativity is trying to slim down to positivity so the positivity can become the perfect. Negativity is the shadow of the positive, the object. A one-way journey, not two-way, but one way, straight to reach the destination. One may say, I'm going left, and you are going right. We'll all meet at the same point of where we started from. but not realizing left or right is right, because the destination is what determines what is right, not the journey. The journey is always one way, left or right. Left or right of the lane is one way. Inflating negativity, making the shadow larger than the object, can only be an obstacle in the way. Like a balloon, it's going to burst, meaning coming to your senses with so much complicated grief. What is your hard way? Choose your difficult. When trying to lose weight is hard, and trying to put on weight is hard. What do you do? It must only come to one. No more bearing children. It ends with you. Legacy ends with you. Building your legacy ends with you. For when you part this world, sometimes you know you have passed the exam, and when the exam results come back to you, you are full of shock of what your grade is, needing to recommence the class. Some burn out. Some burnouts to achieve your goal should not be complicated. Burning out should not be sorrow, pain. To achieve celebration, you will only achieve a bipolar in the name of celebration. Your difficult should be the traveling mercies, traveling with grace, traveling with comfort. Such is the smart world. Such is the smart world compared to the hard work. Not increasing work are where the odds of gaining weight or losing weight are both odds to reach the outcome of integrity. Both odds only signals we are on a journey and not home yet. Riding a horse are two odds. You riding and riding a horse. Instead of you riding and riding a car, one odd must be lighter than the other, and you must choose the right. The earliest possible, the better. So that if you haven't been able to achieve this of a long time, not being able to apply it the earliest possible, you can educate the young ones with a lesson to arrive at the blessing of carrying on with the earliest achievement of the lighter, difficult. Positivity. Reversing negativity back to positivity. Do not inflate negativity by increasing the numbers of individuals. to be like the other of their odds, but rather the lighter odd becoming the place of rest, the inner sanctum of ancestors is not perfect yet. Like an odd to the odd that we are, can only be solved by we of the complicated odd to heal and resolve back to positivity, which is returning one way to meet them and complete their lighter odd back to positivity and evening. Let us even with our inner sanctum by gaining integrity even earliest of childhood with knowledge already provided and now entering into the smart world with technology. Cannot enter into technology with increasing of population. That will be a jeopardy. It takes only one hand to pick up a needle. Easier life does not mean increasing of population. Having 5 cars does not mean we produce children that will take over the car. Having a legacy does not mean make a generation that will live by the legacy that you make. Let your legacy be the crown at the end of your work done, of reversing your odds by yearning to enter into the space where our ancestors are of expected, of the mind, battlefield free. The goal of ancestors is where they are. And we also returning to that goal of the mind. Minding the goal, mining the goal. Mining the goal must be achieved for all to celebrate. A thought, a thought for a wise yields battlefield free, but it takes acknowledging the problem, which is the battlefield, to resolve it and not to keep it. Some say you do not ask for easy. One famous gentleman said, you do not ask for easy, but the worthy and affordable. The desire and not the addictive is what he's indicating. You must differentiate between your desire and your addictiveness. Because the addictive is the complicated odd to your desire, the lighter odd, which you must perfect to becoming the positive. In its holistic state of being, of none left behind, must all be educated. Those who cannot hear can see. Those who have no senses of humans are appeased by all going into numbness with peace. That is how they heal. If we stay complicated, they are also experiencing complication, though numbed. The ground also experiences complication because of our complications. Our resolving of complications also brings the earth to the place of peace. Undoing our current self is the diagnosis, recovery, to enter into our true being, of indivisible. For a kingdom divided cannot stand. We can testify today of Russia and Ukraine. Though in arguments, we argue to resolve our problems. Arguing is not the problem, but how we argue. We are not trying to inflate the complicated odds of warring each other or increasing in number to overcome the other, but rather coming to our senses of the enlightenment, of infancy back to integrity. A mistake can be corrected, and it can only be called a mistake when you're trying to correct it. If you're not trying to correct it, it stays like on purpose. Working at it is very important, and sincerely working at it. Working on it is practice to perfect. Early rise, early rest. Starts early to reduce workload that will bring us to the place of effortlessness. Effortlessness to no work. Work free zone, the inner sanctum we yearn for. Must we complete the journey of working by enabling the awareness, the acknowledgement of how far we have come with technology, needing not conflicting each other, but appreciating our achievements of enlightenment chasing, perfecting with the knowledge of no more burdened children, which is more of like taking the inner sanctum back into the war or into the journey. What is the point of one who has reached home resting, being pulled back into the journey? How frustrating it is. Let us come to our senses, edifying each other with dignity. Everyone surely understands the truth, but more angry of how it is being addressed towards them, feeling like belittling. The need for more therapy of communication skills, aware of our different points of views, a fragile state of being that must be resolved carefully. Commencement should commence with how we communicate, learning from each other, giving time to heal, enforcing the message of the earliest recovery, the better. Frustration cannot be in our way if we keep on checking on each other. So we fall not back again of some feeling like left out. And on approaching them, they ignore, not denying the truth, but rather fighting, the ignoring behavior, which we must resolve. No one is stupid if we remind them of our true being, the candy, before the wrapper around the candy. Graduation or a marriage, or just starting the human life, a journey to integrity. Let the commencement be of enlightenment of this time. The golden age is here. We are the golden sun. Must we enter into the diamond of our being, the inner sanctum? Perfect peace we all yearn for. And even more yearners are our ancestors, already at home, waiting for us to return in peace, of none left behind. Thank you.